for finishing this cake, we're going to use 8 or 2. And we're just going to go water, very similar to what we did with our previous cake. So, when you did that last time, it looked really good. It was a little inconsistent. So just take your time with it and just make sure it goes really good. The challenge that I usually find is sometimes your keyboard, if it moves around too much, it's difficult to control. So what you could do is maybe grab something that's heavier, place it beside it, just so that the cake stand doesn't move. Jose switched my cake stand, my good one yesterday, and he gave me this one, which doesn't move. So it worked out in my favor,
See,
right?
I'm always thinking about you, Chair.
Yeah, it worked out for me. So we're gonna do that. So just squish and then pull, squish and pull, right? So it's gonna be like little pearls or little beads just on the outside. So we're gonna stick with the
Thank you,
same
Matthew.
pattern. The reason I'm doing this pattern and not anything else is because unfortunately you don't have a small star tip in your toolkit. If you do end up getting to Michael's, you can buy some smaller star tips. They're great for doing this, and you can do them in the same way. So I have one, which one of the future cakes I can show you how to work with it. But this one's good. It's good to have this control because when you do this border, it's not as easy as it looks because there's a lot going on over here. You got to focus with where your hands are, how much force you're putting in. So there's a lot going on. And so this is one of the things that you want to really master because every cake, I feel looks a little incomplete if it doesn't have a little border on the edge. So you get a nice. And this is the decorator's buttercream. I didn't have any left, so I'm just using it. Okay, what do we have left with that? We're going to use a 6B French starter. So we can increase with that in there. The reason I did my border first before putting it in there is because the last thing you want to do is run out when you're halfway through that border. And now you're like, now we're ready. If it's a different buttercream, it doesn't look the same. It doesn't have. So, think a little ahead for when you do these things because sometimes not having the same buttercream color can sometimes be good trouble because once you get a certain color, replicating that exactly the same is going to be just keep going. Okay, so that's that. Now, for the beads, we made the bead in the buttercream yesterday, but we're not going to use the tip. Instead, I'm going to show you how to just cut your piping bag so that you can get kind of little leaves out of it. So you're going to hold your bag, and what you're going to do is just cut it on the side so that it makes a little V. So just cut off a little bit, and then just turn it on the other side, and cut off a little bit. Right now, just to make sure it flows like that. Yeah. So it's good to have tips, but sometimes maybe you don't have your tip on you, right? The tip that you have there is good, but it's a little big, and that's why I did it this way. So I can do my okay. So let's get back there. So first, have all of that ready, and then go ahead and pull out your flowers from the freezer. They need to be in the freezer, right? If you forget to put them in the freezer, they are in the fridge. Maybe I'll turn the blast freezer on, put them in the blast freezer. But they need to be cold, frozen, solid when you're trying to move them. From the fridge, you might have some issues with them because it will still be, the first couple ones will be okay. But as you keep working your way towards number 4, 5, and 6, it's going to get soft. Okay? When you're picking them up, if you feel like it's getting too soft, it's breaking, don't push it any further. Put it back in the glass freezer or the freezer and come back. Okay, so let me grab that. And make my way outside. When I do that, I can make sure they're as closely and as tightly packed together, which means there would be less little, spaces in between the flowers. Right? Also, try and mix and match them. You don't need to have, the same color flowers in the same position. Kind of make it, just mix them up so that spreads that out. Also, what you could do is just piping a little bit of buttercream and then placing a flower on it, so it gives you a little bit of an elevation. That way, everything's not completely. Okay. ideally have the center a little elevated, and then as you go towards the side, it kind of fills out. Okay? So we're going to start that off. We're just going to do a little bit column on here. And let's see what it is. It's not a good thing to do. I like to go with one particular color and then spread that out. Then take another color, spread that. That way you can make sure it kind of stays pretty well all the way. Have you heard about the rule of odds? Have you heard of what's called the rule of odds, which means odd numbers look better than even numbers? So that's why when you put your flowers on there, try and do either 3 or 5, just so you can maintain it. Just a little. So let's see, check how much time I have on my plates. I did cross the 40-minute mark, and I added 15 more minutes. These are the most trickiest ones to handle because they're so thin. So let's take a little bit of the support at the bottom. They do great while using. That's the benefit of having it really frozen, super hot. We'll come back. See how that works.
It's a floating cloud.
Is that?
It's a floating cloud.
Yeah, it's floating. Yes.
Yeah.
It is floating. But that's not a good idea. Because once that softens up, right? Once that softens up, it is gonna fall in. So just gonna give it a bit of support down here. Like too much further there, too much in. Yeah, nothing wrong with trying it. The good thing is when this is still frozen, you have room to play around with. You have room to move around. Plenty to go. Get one more there. I don't know. You gotta live life on the edge sometimes. It's there, but it's not there. Okay, so again, important thing, you want to know when to stop, right? Maybe I shouldn't stop, but that's okay. You guys are rubbing off on me. So, once you put it on there, the big thing is, and I'll tell you, don't second guess yourself, right? Put it on there. If you think like, maybe I'm not too happy with it, it's okay. If you try, you can still try and move it if it's frozen. But if it's too soft, just let it keep, just work around it. Okay? Now, we do have quite a bit of open spaces, and that's where we're going to use this French tip to kind of try and blend that. So just put the pipes up around. And then we can do some of the leaves. Make sure that works. And then you can do the leaves. So when you do this, what you're essentially doing is you're pushing it and then you're pulling it out. Push. Push. So again, what I'm looking to do is to just spread that green around. It's a great contrasting color that's gonna help balance the other flowers and all the colors that I have. I think they're all enough in there. Right. That's it. Okay. So, yeah. Your cake is going to look different, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Right? So the key elements to take out this is one, how you've done with the roses. So when I look at your cake, what I would ask you to do is to take a photograph, because I won't be able to hold on to this cake for too long. We would have to send it to marketplace some point tomorrow. But take a photograph of it. So when I'm giving you feedback at the end of this week, we can look at that photograph and we can talk about it. Okay. So the key elements that we are looking for is from week 1 to week 2. One, how's your masking improved? Right? Is it still the same? Is it getting better? Right? The flowers was a new technique, but we're going to be doing that again tomorrow and the day after as well. So we still have a couple more days of practice with the flowers. So I'd like to give you some feedback on that. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the colors and how you use that, as well as your shell. Okay, so those are some of the elements we're going to be doing. Okay, I will hope to remember and bring my pre-cut machine tomorrow, so I can set that up and show you how to make the fake chocolates, and then maybe we can put one for this, and I can show you what that is. Okay, so that'll kind of be the plan to do. Okay. Variations. What you could also do with this, I mean, we don't need to do it on this one, but if you choose to, and I've done a couple of cakes where we've kept the top plain, but use these flowers and put them all around this plate. That's a great variation to do as well. It's a little bit trickier because again you need to make sure they are frozen and you can pick them up and stick them on. Freezing them is utmost important. I cannot stress that. So, questions about the cake?